I fear that I've asked disparity to marry me. If only we'd have skipped that lonely ceremony that buried me. I feel like I'm beyond the weight that can carry me. It's not that I don't care to be free, but all that I see is the pressure pushing my presence past the point of pure prosperity and blissfulness. As if this is a state of emptiness. And the way I'm living this experience labeled life is totally and uncontrollably holding me to this so-called wife. Although our hit's first kiss was full of bliss, eventually she stole the breath from my chest and potentially my heart until I was no longer down with our vows. Was it meant to be this till death do us part? If I could back travel, I'd slip that ring off her finger before my life unraveled and skip the love that didn't linger. Now, our relationship is full of shit. Sure, we've occasionally broken up and stuff, but that rush has always been enough for me to return to her. Why the fuck do I still burn for her? What have I learned from her? Every time I left her lying, lucid and crying, I'd yearn for her. But this time, a little later, I've made up my mind. I'm serving that bitch with papers. Lucid and has always been enough for me to return to her. Why the fuck do I still burn for her? What have I learned from her? Every time I left her lying, lucid and crying, I'd yearn for her. But this time, a little later, I've made up my mind. I'm serving that bitch with papers.
Before you click on that skip ad button right there, I want you to ask yourself one question. Who are you? And here's another question. What is generally one of the first things you will ask somebody when you meet them for the first time? What do? Here in American culture, we place so much value on what a person does that it actually defines who they are. But I choose to believe the essence of an individual is defined more by what they stand for and what they believe in, rather than what they do to make a living in today's...
Maybe she's right. I am an asshole. Maybe she's wrong. Won't let the past go. Probably it's both, though. We've been rowing our own boat. I wrote this about letting my mask go. Maybe sharing it's wrong, but I aim to record what I wrote and expose my true self in hopes that the truth helps. If it don't, then I know that I won't do well, because I can't be anyone else. So I stand before you as Cam, to answer for the man that I am. I'm not perfect, I'm flawed. Human, not God, don't deserve to go burn, but ain't quite earned my spot. Prefer to stay here and learn about what I'm not. Damn, powerlessness is odd.
Society. And if you've yet to click out of this video, you're probably asking yourself another question. Who the hell is this guy? Well,
I am Nermak, realist, humanitarian, activist.
The man gonna drink ice cold red stripe beers. All my friends are stoners.
just coming from the dispensary now. What kind did you guys go with?
Well, we actually got 3 different kinds. One that works with an electronic cigarette. And I took one called Grandma's Chocolate Cookies.
Of course.
So, one of the types that's supposed to affect the brain, make you more alert.
More of a mind high.
Yeah, more of a mind high.
Diversifying in the weed genres. Well, the e-cigarette one sounds quite interesting. You know, they come up with all these cool things. I smoked for a number of years. As soon as I quit, they're coming up with all these new things. It seems like, you know.
The last time I looked at this was in the 60s when I had anything to deal with it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, you know, a lot more of a kick to it nowadays than it was back in the day, you know.
Oh, yeah. You know, if you get it from a legal retail outlet like we were just at, well, I think you can pretty much be assured what you're getting. But
just to drop, you know, for the viewers, it was Noble Tree in Bellevue is the dispensary we use. Very classy place. I was pleasantly surprised actually with the, you know, the upkeep of it and the appearance and overall.
I was too. I'd highly recommend it if somebody's going to smoke pot.
Well, that somebody's going to be you here in about an hour.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? It's Nermak again, here with Rene after the shoot. The one question for you, are you glad you did it?
Great experience, and I couldn't have had anybody better with me than my son.
Well, to take us out, I got a special track I'm going to play right now, Inagata de Vida.
Whoa.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Don't you know that I'm loving you? In a God of a Vida, baby. Don't you know that I'll always be true? Oh, won't you come with me and take my hand? Oh, won't you come?
Yo, what up? It's NermakBlack here with my father, Rene Adams. We're on the way to the video shoot. So, Rene, what's going through your head right now? Tell everybody.
You know, I just don't know what to expect. First, we're going to this distribution center, the retail outlet, and I'm going to buy some. It's been a long time coming. I've always been a proponent of legalizing not only marijuana but all drugs. It takes the bad guy out of the equation. I'm not sure that Washington has done it quite correctly yet. You can still buy it cheaper on the street from the bad guy.
It's very true.
So we need to change that situation. A lot of cops don't want to get involved in stuff like this, and thank God I'm retired, so we'll see what happens.
Well, you know, I'm glad that you have the opportunity to voice your opinions here before the video actually shoots, because you know how little something could come out a little different later. So
It probably will.
the title is To Be Determined. It has not dropped yet. Essentially, it is ex-police officers smoking weed for the first time in a very long time. And when was the last time you think you smoked weed?
Last time I probably smoked marijuana was when I was in college, back in 68 maybe.
So a couple years, that is fair to
A few
say.
years, yeah. Yeah, I am excited. I think it's for a good cause, like legalizing, alcohol back in the Prohibition days.
Well, here's another question I'm sure viewers would be, likely to want to hear the answer to. If somebody told you that today you'd be going to do a video smoking weed, what would you have told them?
I would have said that the likelihood of that is very, very slim. And back in the day, if I were going to someplace that was selling marijuana, I'd be going there probably involved in a raid.
How many arrests do you think you had for people who were smoking, marijuana when it was illegal?
I can't remember ever arresting physically arresting or writing a citation. I took a lot of it away from people. I would throw it up in the air, throw it out in the bushes, disperse it, which I think was more effective than actually giving them a criminal citation.
you have anything to say to the people who are opposed?
We feel there's a need to get the message out that yes, it's legal, but you have to go by the same rules that people do when they're drinking alcohol. Just use common sense. The problem with it right now is that in Washington State, I think they went about it the wrong way. They taxed it way out of proportion. They need to get the bad guy out of the drug business.
Well, you know, this may come as a big shocker to a lot of those who follow, you know, what I do as far as rap music and such, but I used to smoke a lot of weed. I found one of the, one of the major pleasures I had just alone, you know, while smoking would be listening to music. And so, you know, if you could listen to one album, any artist ever recorded one album while stoned, knowing that it would make it, you know, a captivating experience, what do you think would be the album you would listen to?
I guess the thing that comes to mind is probably Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly.
A lot of people would agree.
Yeah, Nermak. I mean, you've got some good rap songs, if you will, that have a good political message and a good point.
My friends are stoners, lighting up all of the time. Everybody has a mason jar. Can you guess what I put in mine? We all go to Jamaica once or twice a year to smoke big blunts with the Rasta man. To drink ice cold red stripe beers. All of my friends are stoners. We sit around and get fried. We're asking the president to legalize it so the whole wide world can get high.
Just coming from the dispensary now, what kind did you guys go with?
Well, we actually got 3 different kinds. One that works with an electronic cigarette. And I took one called Grandma's Chocolate Cookie.
Of course.
So, one of the types that's supposed to affect the brain more, make you more alert.
More of a mind high.
Yeah, more of a mind high.
Diversifying in the weed genres.
Yes.
Well, the e-cigarette one sounds quite interesting. You know, they come up with all these cool things. I smoked for a number of years. As soon as I quit, they're coming up with all these new things. It seems like, you know.
The last time I looked at this was in the 60s when I had anything to deal with it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, you know, a lot more of a kick to it nowadays than it was back in the day, you know.
Oh, yeah. You know, if you get it from a legal retail outlet like we were just at, why, I think you can pretty much be assured what you're getting. But
just to drop, you know, for the viewers, it was Noble Tree in Bellevue is the dispensary we use. Very classy place. I was pleasantly surprised, actually, with the, you know, the upkeep of it and the appearance and overall.
I was, too. I'd highly recommend it if somebody's going to smoke pot.
Well, that somebody's going to be you here in about an hour.
Yeah.
Invaded that country, destroyed it, created millions of orphans, millions of refugees, and never even so much as apologized for that. Let's go back to Vietnam, where we dropped 20 million bombs, more than all of World War II combined. We have destroyed so many countries. We have tortured and killed and maimed and raped around this planet. Who in the hell in their right mind would consider the United States or the West in general to be in any position to punish anybody?
Question their intelligence, the situation's delicate. While flipping through the stations, we patiently wait for relevance. My wave to an acquaintance, while agents are gaining leverage to pick apart the elephants inside of our rooms. Hypnotic encrypted politics came out of the blue with slanderous propaganda that can leave you confused. They don't believe you can choose, so they determine the best for us. Subliminal messages ever since Exodus tell you trust in God but keep church and state separate. Until you break their laws, then you swear on a Bible. It's a hypocrite midterm, prepare for the final. They're defending the title. Divide rewriting indivisible vitals from scratch. That's the reason we're certainly off track, as we're bleeding and reading, twisting fiction from fact. It's an attack, you must let the soul within you emerge. No going back, perhaps we must continue the search. Since the birth of man's existence, he's questioned how he became, invented false religions, inquisitions with the name, fabricated provisions through depictions they proclaimed had been written from the visions of their predecessor's brain. Since the birth of existence, he has questioned how we came, invented false religions, inquisitions with the name, fabricated provisions through depictions they proclaimed had been written from the visions of the predecessor's brain. It's strange how they still manage to keep us contained, as they levitate fear and perpetuate pain. Paint a picture of hell, eternally burn in flames. The portrait that they sell, we prefer to be put in chains. This place is not a game, can't keep on living the same. And they replace the name and convince us all it's a change. Who's to blame? The powers perceivably pulling strings, or the people who equally put up with these happenings? Whose fault doesn't matter, what we need now is a truce. We want peace, we want proof, we want knowledge we can use. From the streets to the roofs, go on, throw up a deuce. Give police and the troops a direction to move. No more singing the blues to the youth, they want truth they deserve. They're the reason I cannot decide what's worse, a society altogether unwilling to search, or the earth where this concept hasn't occurred. Since the birth of man's existence, he's questioned how he became, invented false religions, inquisitions with the name, fabricated provisions through depictions they proclaimed had been written from the visions of their predecessor's brain. Since the birth of existence, he has questioned how we came, invented false religions, inquisitions with the name, fabricated provisions through depictions they proclaimed had been written from the visions of their predecessor's brain. Since the birth of man's existence, he's questioned how he became, invented false religions, inquisitions with the name, fabricated provisions through depictions they proclaimed had been written from the visions of their predecessor's brain. Since the birth of existence, he has questioned how we came, invented false religions, inquisitions with the name, fabricated provisions through depictions they proclaimed had been written from the visions of their predecessor's brain.
I'll be a better man today. I'll be good, I'll be good. And I'll love the world like I should. Yeah, I'll be good for all of the time that I never could.
Dear Nermak, I'm writing this to let you know we ain't kept in touch as much, and I can see you let it show. I guess I just got too busy with life, but that shit's excuses, you know what that's like, right? I know, can't bullshit a bullshitter, but I ain't shaped you in this place to raise no quitter. Even though I get so cold, you get the same old shivers. The way I turn's how you learn to be a full spitter. Admittedly, when you were smaller, guess I seemed bigger. Now you're taller and I'm still the same size. Look completely different, you don't see me with the same eyes. And as you get older, I'ma seem bolder. You'll still have a tendency to carry me upon your shoulders, and that's okay though, you know, cause that's that. Just remember, if you go against me, I'ma have the last laugh.
I'll be a better man today. I'll be good, I'll be good. And I'll love the world like I should. Yeah, I'll be good for all of the time that I never could.
Dear world, I'll respond and say I'm sorry. Lately I ain't been appreciating what you taught me.
look where it's got me. Stop me if I'm wrong, but the lessons that you throw at me are supposed to make me strong, right? I know, only if I learn from them. And if I don't, then maybe I'm deserving them. Sometimes when I'm around, I'm bringing out the worst in them. People that I love, why I always see the hurt in them. And that's a life that I guess I've gotten used to. Kinda like how you were used to people trying to use you. And I ain't trying to sound jaded and such, but the more I see, I can't seem to fake it as much. Like I tried out for the team, but I ain't making the cut. And that's okay though, you know, cause you move a little too fast. So while you spin, I'ma sit back and try to make the good last.
I'll be a better man today. I'll be good, I'll be good. And I'll love the world like I should. Yeah, I'll be good for all of the time. I'll be good, I'll be good. And I love the world like I should. Yeah, I'll be good for all of the time that I never could.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
There's the Hillary standard, and then there's a standard for everybody else.
What's the Hillary standard?
Well,
You're against same-sex marriage, now you're for it. You defended President Obama's immigration policies, now you say they're too harsh. You supported his trade deal dozens of times. You even called it the gold standard.
And blood coming out of her, wherever. You gotta see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. Oh, I don't remember.
Did not send or receive any information that was marked classified at the time.
110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters. Get him the hell out of here. Get him out of here. Get out.
This isn't just another song about a struggle, about the single moms raising kids and working doubles, about the fathers walking out while thinking that it's subtle and leave their children so the streets will teach them how to hustle, about the schoolgirls bullied with no motivation, none to deal with their teachers who don't have the patience, about your neighbors who can't afford their mortgage payments to pay the paper chasing chip stacking corporations, about the cops who've forgotten what their job is, thinking they're above the law and they're flawless. This ain't about the politicians, who the hell cares? About the people used to living off the welfare, about our sons and our daughters who no longer breathing cause they sent them over waters for no fucking reason. This ain't about another ransom for the heartless. This is me trying to shout an anthem we can march with.
I look at my reflection in the mirror.
Take a look at my reflection.
Why am I doing this to myself?
Got no goddamn protection.
Losing my mind on a tiny hill.
Feel I'm losing my connection.
I'm nearly at the real me on the shelf.
I need to find a direction. This isn't just another track talking about the trouble from the top 1% busy flexing muscle. While they break our back, we work to break a sweat to pay the cost of our existence, earn a decent check. This ain't about the human race and who can go the farthest. It's about the human waste, oceans filled with garbage. This ain't about a bigger piece of the pie, but the people who got nothing but a reason to cry. About the potential that's lost to the use of drugs, cause no one ever taught them about a cause or how to love. This ain't about the false promise of heaven above, but the hell created when thinking we don't have enough. Giving into fear, greed, jealousy, and lust. This isn't just another piece of art for your amusement. This is what connects our hearts. It is more than music. We can shout it as we march and we'll start a movement.
I look at my reflection in the mirror.
As we look at our reflection,
why am I doing this to myself?
We see our protection.
Losing my mind on a tiny hill.
Can we make the connection?
I'm nearly at the real me
look into the mirror. Now more than ever, we need to rise up together, speak out and march for what we believe in. If we continue to stay divided against injustice, then we've lost all reason, and we are bound to remain nothing more than pawns in their political games.